Imagine your best friend, the one that you can do anything with, communicate with all the time. You have all your best memories with them. Now, imagine you and your best friend back in high school, senior year, you're getting ready to graduate, you're turning in college applications, and also at the same time getting acceptance letters from all these colleges. But then one day you realize that while you're getting college acceptance letters, your best friend isn't getting any. So you decide to ask her one day, why aren't you getting any college applications or getting anything back from any of them? And she tells you one thing that you probably thought you would never hear or never thought about. Your best friend is undocumented, which means that she was brought here illegally as a young child and therefore doesn't have a citizenship or the right papers to apply for college. Today I'll be talking to you about the DREAM Act. The DREAM Act is the hope that many undocumented students have in order to continue their education. And according to the Immigration Policy Center, the DREAM Act provides a pathway to citizenship for thousands of students who are brought here illegally by their parents, and also, but in order for them to do this, there are certain requirements. According to Eduardo Padron, in order for you to become a citizen through the DREAM Act, you first of all have to either live in the United States for 5 consecutive years, either go to college for at least 2 years, and serve some time in the military. But you are not eligible to become a citizen if you were brought here after the age of 16, but still have the chance to continue your education and also become a citizen if you are in good standing with the United States government for at least 6 years. Though this sounds like a really good plan for many undocumented students to continue to have that life that all students want. But there's some people who oppose it, and there are 2 main opposing arguments against the undocumented students, which are that they shouldn't have the opportunity to continue their education, and also that it will hurt the economy. The first opposing argument is education shouldn't be given to them. According to the Homeland Security Department's Bureau of Citizenship and Immigration Services, the U.S. should actually deport these illegal students instead of giving them tuition breaks when applying for colleges. Most states do not allow students to apply for in-state colleges, and if they do, they're not allowed to pay in-state tuition, which, as you all know, in-state tuition is a lot more expensive than what you actually have to do. Out-of-state tuition is actually a lot more expensive than in-state tuition. And one of the states that does not allow illegal undocumented students to actually pay in-state tuition is Georgia. And according to Kelly Village, Georgia has actually shut out undocumented students from their top 5 state colleges. So therefore, these students are either stuck with schools that aren't really good or just community colleges in order to get their education. But despite this, there are 11 states, including Wisconsin, who actually allow students to apply for in-state colleges and also at the same time pay for in-state tuition, according to Alejandro Rincon. Even though many people are not in support of this act, some people believe that if this bill is not passed, according to Roberto Gonzalez, this sets children on a pathway of disenfranchisement, frustration, poverty, which then adds creates an illiterate group, and also it raises unemployment and also poverty in the state, which the U.S. will have to pay for. And also by legalizing the bill, many of these kids are already in the United States. This is the only country they know. They know nothing else. They were brought here as a young child, so they're already acculturated to the culture of the U.S. And if they have to be taken back to whatever country they're from, they know nothing. So being able to continue their education is a way for them to continue to stay in this country, the only place that they can really truly call home. The second opposing argument that many people have against this is the economic state of the United States. According to David Lieberman, an article by David Lieberman, even if undocumented students were here, they wouldn't be able to work even with a college degree because they're not adding to the tax revenue of the U.S. And even though there are possibilities, again, that work permits, they still wouldn't be able to work, and some people are not willing to employ them. And also he says that there will be a loss of money because of the tuition tax base that they get. And according to this table, there's the difference between what the state tuition is between in and out of state, and also community colleges, and how much of the people are in this top states. These are the biggest states that are in the U.S. and also have the most undocumented students that are there. So he believes that they shouldn't be allowed to continue the education because it affects the economy in such a great way. And according to him again, he also says that for every single student, for every 4 years that they're in college, it's $44,000 for every single student. But despite the fact that they think it might be hurting the economy, it's actually going to be a positive, the bill will be a positive impact onto the economy. According to Dina Mendel, this brings an asset to U.S. because you have more talent, more people who are educated, and willing to continue willing to help the U.S. economy. And because the bill allows you to become a citizen, once you have become a citizen, you are also obligated to have to pay taxes, therefore raising the tax revenue of the United States by $1.4 billion a year. And according to this deal, you can see that also those same states that are arguing that it will hurt their economy, they're actually also benefiting a lot from these undocumented students being citizens and also being able to continue their education. Also, according to James Hermes, he says that this economic competitiveness means that we'll be above other countries such as China because many of these students come here in order to get their education and then after that go back there to help their economy. But why not just let people who are already here and are willing to help the United States economy in the place that they feel and call home? Just stay here and let them do that. Also, according to Alejandro Rincon, it is actually cheaper to educate a student than it is to deport a student. According to the Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement, it is $12,500 to deport a student, while it is actually $12,048 to actually educate. That's a $472 difference. $472 that you could be saving just by letting the student be educated. So I just like to let you all know that everyone deserves a good education. Most of these students were not brought here by choice. They were brought here as a young child by their parents, and even many of them don't know until when they start applying for jobs in college that they are undocumented. And though many people oppose it, saying that they don't deserve the opportunity to a good education or that they'll hurt the economy, these aren't correct things. So think back to your best friend, the best friend that you always love and feel that you'll always be there for. If your best friend was in this situation and the next day you just heard, I'm getting deported, how would you feel? So I'd like you to consider, whenever you hear about this REMAC, to be in support of it. Thank you.